Hi Taurus, Trishna here. Welcome to your September 2019 love reading. So what I'm feeling for you is if I feel like you're in a situation where your relationship is almost non-existent. So if you're single, obviously you don't really have a relationship right now. If you're in a relationship, I feel like it's either very stagnant or it is almost in the ending phases. Like it almost feels like things are starting to, what's the word, dwindle or like phase out, and things are kind of coming to an end, even though there has really not been a discussion of an ending. It's just kind of fizzling out. That's the word. And, it's sad and it's also kind of frustrating. And I think what ended up creating this situation is it seems like I think it's the other person, stopped communicating at some point. Like there was either some kind of miscommunication or communication just kind of stopped, and it almost seemed like maybe it was a little bit abrupt, like things were going fine and then all of a sudden communication just stopped. And on your end, so I feel like the communication stopped on their end. I feel like on your end, you didn't really do anything about it. You let it happen. You let things fizzle out. You let things die. You let things become stagnant. You didn't make a move in response to them just really not communicating or opening up to you anymore. And I think that the reason why you did that is because I think that there's, I think that maybe you were a little bit, you were having a hard time putting all your cards out on the table. You were having a hard time being intimate and making that first move. Like you're having a hard time making that first move because it put you in a vulnerable position and you weren't comfortable with that. And I think you probably feel like if you had made that move, your partner would have responded and would have opened up communication with you or at least started that process. But at the time, even though you knew that, for some reason you just didn't want to put all your cards out on the table. You didn't really want to open up or be intimate in that way or be vulnerable. And you just really hesitated. And so you kind of just let it happen because I think you also didn't entirely know what to do about it. And I feel like that's why on your end, things came to a halt. Now, in terms of them and stopping communication, I feel like they stopped communication because they got excited about something else and they kind of went to go pursue that and they left you behind in the dust. They didn't include you on their journey. They didn't really, they just kind of got excited about something and just left. So like maybe you guys are in a relationship and then they got excited about some business opportunity or some career thing or some promotion. And so they went off in that direction to go pursue that, and they just left you in the dust, left you to fend for yourself, didn't really engage you in any way, didn't try to bring you, yeah, like I was saying, didn't try to bring you along on their journey. And like I can see why you wouldn't want to make the first move. It's almost like you were kind of in a position where you felt like you were going to have to chase them when really that shouldn't have happened, because in a relationship, if they want to go do something else, then they need to kind of bring you along on that journey and bring you up to speed and at least give you the option of being a part of that. And they didn't really do that. They just left you. And now I feel like you're at this crossroads or this decision point where you're wondering, what do I do about the situation? And I think you feel fed up and tired of all of this, and like you're ready to kind of just let this go and move on with your life. And I do believe that all relationships, or I won't say all, most relationships can be salvageable. But so, take this guidance just as guidance and just as something to think about and not necessarily as what you should do for your decision. I'm getting guidance on what you should do, but this is a general reading, and I do feel like there's a lot of opportunity in most relationships to salvage it. So, if that is a path you want to pursue, then by all means, try it, go for it. But I'm just going to share what I'm getting as guidance. But again, remember, this is a general reading, so, it will be different for every person watching this. So, but the guidance that I'm getting is that, you're fed up and you want to let this go. And I do feel like that is the best option for you at this point in time. I think that had you and this other person tried to work this out earlier in the process, maybe closer to when this communication ended, that there was a way that you could have worked things out and been on this journey together. But I feel like it's been so long now and everything's kind of fizzled out and stagnated, and you've just grown apart through all of this, that there really isn't a way to bring this back together. Like, I think you could be really interested in that, but the other person would have been open before but isn't really open at this point in time right now. And so I think that if you want to move forward and let this go, that you should. If you don't, I feel like maybe you should go ahead and try salvaging this, because maybe there is a way to open them up to that kind of possibility. But if you're really ready to let this go, I would say go ahead and let this go, because I think that this feels like baggage to you. It feels like this baggage that you're carrying around with you in all other areas of your life, and it just is stuck on you. It's like this extra appendage that you just don't need. And you the rest of your life is going fine, and like you live the rest of your life, but then there's always this frustration and the sadness kind of in the background because of this connection that you still have to this relationship that's really just not adding any value to your life. So, if you let it go, you can move on with your life, and you can, you don't have to keep being reminded that there's something sad and frustrating in your life. Because when you go out and live your life, it's fine, but then it's always there in the background, and then when you have to deal with it, you get reminded of how this person has basically kind of abandoned you in some ways and let you go, and doesn't really seem to be, it just isn't present. This person isn't present with you anymore, and that can be really hurtful, and it's not helping you in any way. So if you're ready to let this go, I would go ahead and let this go. If you're not ready to let this go and you want to work this out, I do see that there is some potential for that, so I would go ahead and try that. Again, like I was saying, most relationships can be salvaged. There is often potential for that. So that's what I'm feeling for you. Before I end this video, I want to let you know that I am going to be doing extended readings again. I did do extended readings about 1.5 to 2 years ago. I did them on Vimeo at the time. I may still do that, but I'm thinking about moving to Patreon. I think that would be a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. I think maybe I could give you like bulk pricing on a lot of videos versus Vimeo, where I was kind of pricing each one individually. So yeah, and basically, if you're interested in the extended video, the link will be below in the description box. And what I'm going to be including in that video is we're going to go a lot more in depth into your situation. We're also going to talk about the strengths that you bring to the table and how you can leverage that to bring in more love, better partners into your life. We're going to talk about the weaknesses that maybe you are currently working with and how you can work on them and kind of transform yourself so that you can be a better match to the kinds of partners that you would like to kind of grow you in those ways. We're going to go into your fears and some of your blocks and work on those to release those so that we can open up ourselves to better potentials in relationships and love. And then we'll also look into your future potentials. If you work on all these blocks and if you leverage your strengths, what does your future look like for your love life? We'll go into that as well. So that's what the extended reading will include. This wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you earned your like and your subscribe. If you're interested in the extended, I will see you in that video. If not, then I will see you on my next video on this channel.